Bonjour, it's Jennifer, your French teacher in the south of France, and today I have a lesson for you about 5 irregular French verbs. They all end in IR, but they're not conjugated like regular IR verbs. So we have ouvrir, souffrir, offrir, couvrir, and découvrir in 3 different tenses, in the present, passé composé, and imperative. So before we get started, I want you to go ahead and print out your study guide so that you can have it ready to take notes and write your own examples as you listen. You can look down in the video description to get the link to Patreon where you can download your study guide. And if you really want to master these verbs, you can sign up for my mini course. All right, let's get started. So verbs like ouvrir, there aren't that many that are conjugated like this. I've picked a handful of them to focus on, 5, okay? And there really aren't many more than that. Remember, they're not conjugated like regular IR verbs, like choisir, for example. So we have the verb ouvrir, souffrir, offrir, couvrir, and découvrir. And you'll see how sometimes, like especially the verb offrir can have some different meanings than it does in English. D'accord? So let's first of all look at the conjugation. And it's really funny because I've put here on the left-hand side the verb parler, which is a regular ER verb, right? And then on the right side, I have put ouvrir. And you'll notice that they're conjugated the same way, even though ouvrir is an IR verb. Right? So we say j'ouvre, tu ouvres, il ouvre, nous ouvrons, vous ouvrez, ils ouvrent. How do you like that? Conjugated like a regular ER verb. So look, remember how to translate these as well. And I want to go over this. I always like to go over this. Present tense French verbs can be translated in 3 ways. So you take a verb like ouvrir and you say j'ouvre. That can mean I open. It can also mean I am opening, like I am opening a present. You don't need to use the verb être. You just say j'ouvre. And I do open. Like, why don't you open your presents? I do open my presents. You don't need to use the verb faire. Okay? That's still just j'ouvre. Now, let's look at the conjugation, and if you have printed out your study guide, you can fill in the blanks, okay, to make sure you've got these conjugations down. If the verb ouvrir is conjugated j'ouvre, what would the je form of offrir be? J'offre, right. And so I'll say tu ouvres, and you say tu offres, right? That's how we're going to do these. Il ouvre, il offre. Nous ouvrons, nous offrons. Vous ouvrez, vous offrez. Ils ouvrent, ils offrent. Now, how about this next one? How do we do it? Je souffre. Say them with me. Tu souffres, il souffre, nous souffrons, vous souffrez, il souffre. Et le verbe couvrir. Je couvre, tu couvres, il couvre, nous couvrons, vous couvrez, il couvre. And the last one, découvrir, remember it means to discover, can also mean to uncover. Let's say them together. Je découvre, tu découvres, il découvre, nous découvrons, vous découvrez, il découvre. All right, good. So now let's get ready to see some examples. We'll start out with the verb ouvrir, okay? So my example is j'ouvre mes bagages et je sors mes affaires. That translates pretty much directly to the way we say it in English, right? Qu'est-ce que tu ouvres? Qu'est-ce que tu ouvres? On ouvre la porte du garage. On ouvre la porte du garage. So all of these are present tense examples. We're going to look at them in other tenses in just a few minutes. More for ouvrir. Nous ouvrons le journal et nous lisons un article. Nous ouvrons le journal et nous lisons un article. Pourquoi est-ce que vous n'ouvrez pas ce colis? Pourquoi est-ce que vous n'ouvrez pas ce colis? Ils ouvrent les fenêtres pour faire rentrer de l'air frais. Ils ouvrent les fenêtres pour faire rentrer de l'air frais. Voilà, so that's it for ouvrir. Now let's look at some examples for offrir. J'offre une jolie paire de chaussures à ma fille. J'offre une jolie paire de chaussures à ma fille. Now watch this verb offrir, because like I said in the beginning, offrir, to offer, doesn't always have the same meaning in French. Here, for example, I'm giving a pretty pair of shoes to my daughter. It means it's a gift. When you're offering something, you're actually giving something to someone. Okay, when you go into a shop, right, and you're buying a gift, and you want to say, oh, I'd like to have this gift wrapped, please. You just say, c'est pour offrir. And that means it's a gift. C'est pour offrir. And they'll wrap it up real nicely for you, okay? Now watch this one. Qu'est-ce que tu offres de faire pour aider? Qu'est-ce que tu offres de faire pour aider? Now here we have the verb offrir followed by an infinitive, faire. And remember, there are some verbs, when followed by infinitives, that have to be followed by de. Others need a. Others need nothing at all. Offrir needs de. D'accord? And you'll see this if you take my mini course, because I have some quizzes on there for you to take with lots and lots of different examples, okay? So we have the verb offrir being used like this in some of those. Il m'offre 2000 € pour ma voiture. Il m'offre 2000 € pour ma voiture. See, now in this case, he is offering me, just like we would say it in English, he's offering me 2,000 euros for my car. So the first example, I am giving a present. The second example, I'm offering to do something, so I need de. And the third example, he's actually making an offer. Okay? More examples with offrir in the new form. Nous lui offrons un beau bouquet de fleurs. Nous lui offrons un beau bouquet de fleurs. Now remember, this is a gift, this bouquet of flowers, right? Vous leur offrez un verre? Vous leur offrez un verre? Very interesting. Look at the translation. Are you buying them a drink? It's not like in English when you offer someone a drink, you know, it doesn't have the same sense. It doesn't have the same meaning, really, that you're buying it for them. So if you want to buy someone a drink, you say, je peux vous offrir un verre, you see? Elles offrent de garder le chien du voisin. Elles offrent de garder le chien du voisin. And here again, they're offering to do something. That's the infinitive garder. So I need a de in between offre and garder. D'accord? Okay, très bien. So there we have 3 different ways to use the verb offrir. Let's move on to souffrir. Souffrir means to suffer. So, je souffre d'un problème cardiaque. Je souffre d'un problème cardiaque. Here again, we need a de. D'accord? If you're suffering from something. So, let's go on to the next example. Tu souffres depuis ton divorce. Tu souffres depuis ton divorce. Have you been suffering since your divorce? You might wonder, oh, have you been? That's not just the present tense. Yeah, it is though, because we're using depuis. Depuis. So remember, when, let's say, you've been suffering since your divorce, the idea is that you're still suffering. So since that is still happening in the present tense, we have to use the present tense of the verb with depuis. D'accord? Third example, elle souffre de dépression. Elle souffre de dépression. Now, look closely at this. I didn't say elle souffre de la dépression. When you just want to say she's suffering from depression, you don't have to put la. You don't have to use the article, okay? When it's a definite article, you don't have to do that. So look at some other examples with souffrir. Nous souffrons en silence. Nous souffrons en silence. We suffer in silence. Vous souffrez? Are you in pain? You see? Now, of course, you can ask someone, vous avez mal? Does it hurt? Okay. Vous souffrez? Are you in pain? It's not exactly the same thing. Il souffre inutilement. Il souffre inutilement. D'accord? Now, let's go back up here to this. I want to make sure you've got this. The first example, je souffre d'un problème cardiaque. I suffer from what? A heart condition. So we're using an indefinite article there, un. We leave it. But in the third example, elle souffre de dépression. We don't have an indefinite article, un or une. So we leave it out completely. Just like if someone's suffering from allergies. Elle souffre d'allergie. D'. D'accord? Okay. Allez, so we finished with souffrir. Now let's have a look at couvrir. Couvrir means to cover. Je couvre les plantes pour les protéger. Je couvre les plantes pour les protéger. Okay, that's like in English. Pourquoi est-ce que tu ne couvres pas ta piscine? Pourquoi est-ce que tu ne couvres pas ta piscine? Also like in English, right? Elle couvre son carnet avec du tissu. Elle couvre son carnet avec du tissu. D'accord? She's covering her notebook with fabric. Notebook, carnet. You can still say cahier if you want to. It's just a different word. It's like a notepad, really. Okay? Some more for couvrir. Nous couvrons les murs de peinture bleue. Nous couvrons les murs de peinture bleue. We're covering the walls with blue paint. D'accord? Vous couvrez les enfants avec des vêtements chauds. Vous couvrez les enfants avec des vêtements chauds. Now, in the first example, I said nous couvrons les murs de peinture bleue with blue paint. Second example, vous couvrez les enfants avec des vêtements chauds with warm clothes. Jennifer, why? Why does it say de peinture bleue in the first one and avec des vêtements chauds in the second one? It's because you have an option. You can say it either way. D'accord? The first one is a little bit more advanced, but they're both correct. Okay? Il couvre la casserole pour faire cuire le riz. Il couvre la casserole pour faire cuire le riz. So this word casserole might make you think of, a casserole. But in French, that means a pot. Okay, so they're covering it so that the rice can cook. Okay? Now, here we have the verb découvrir, and this is the last one. Je découvre la musique classique. Je découvre la musique classique. Tu découvres Paris avec tes camarades? Tu découvres Paris avec tes camarades? On découvre le monde en voyageant. On découvre le monde en voyageant. D'accord? I'll show you 3 more. Nous découvrons ensemble les quartiers de Québec. Nous découvrons ensemble les quartiers de Québec. Vous découvrez la vérité. Vous découvrez la vérité. Elle découvre les spécialités du sud de la France. Elle découvre les spécialités du sud de la France. Très bien. So, look back up here. Third example. On découvre le monde en voyageant. We are discovering the world by traveling. So just notice that on is a very, very common way to say we, but it's still conjugated singularly, in the singular way. Nous découvrons also means we are discovering. Okay, you can use either one. Just know that in common spoken French, on is more commonly used to mean we. Okay, so that's it for the present tense verbs and the examples. Now I need to show them to you in the passé composé and in the impératif. So you've already seen the present tense conjugations. Just remember, they work like regular ER verbs in the present tense. Now the passé composé, you might have expected the past participle to look different. You might have expected the past participle to end with an I, but it doesn't. These verbs end in ERT. Okay, so the passé composé, they all use avoir as helping verb. J'ai ouvert. Repeat them after me. Tu as ouvert. Il a ouvert. Nous avons ouvert. Vous avez ouvert. Ils ont ouvert. D'accord? Now, in the imperative, and I'm not sure if you've learned the imperative yet, this is just the command form. It only exists in 3 forms because when you think about it, when you're telling someone to do something, it can only be really in the you form. Hey, you, open the door, right? And since you have 2 you forms in French, you can make the imperative in the tu form and in the vous form. So you can also use the imperative in the nous form, which is not so much a command as a suggestion. So when I say ouvre la porte, it means open the door. Ouvrez, the last one, ouvrez la porte, open the door, but in the vous form. So that's when I'm speaking to more than one person or just someone who I'm being quite formal with. I can also say ouvrons la porte, which means let's open the door. D'accord? You may notice something curiously missing from the tu form of the imperative, and it's the S. Now, if you have not learned the imperative, then you don't know this rule. But if you have, I want you to remember that when we are dealing with regular ER verbs, like parler, in the imperative, in the tu form, you must take off the S. Since these verbs are conjugated like regular ER verbs, we're going to carry the rule over in the imperative as well, where you take the S off. D'accord? So that's why the S is gone. Okay, let's show you these examples then. You've seen the present tense. J'ouvre mes bagages et je sors mes affaires. And in the passé composé, j'ai ouvert mes bagages et j'ai sorti mes affaires. Okay, oh la la, Jennifer, why j'ai sorti? Sortir is supposed to use être, yes. Unless it's followed by a direct object, in which case you have to use avoir. Now remember, a direct object answers the questions who or what. So, I opened my bags and I took out what? My stuff, my belongings. That's what mes affaires are. So since there is a direct object, I'm using avoir. Okay. Next one. Oh, and notice for the je form, there is no imperative because we can't do that in the je form. Only the tu, vous, and nous forms. The tu form. Qu'est-ce que tu ouvres? What are you opening? Qu'est-ce que tu as ouvert? What did you open? Ouvre-le. Open it. The S is gone. Okay? Ouvre-le. The on form. On ouvre la porte du garage. We are opening the garage door. Passé composé. On a ouvert la porte du garage. We opened the garage door. D'accord? Here's some more for the verb ouvrir. So, nous ouvrons le journal et nous lisons un article. That looks familiar. In the passé composé, nous avons ouvert le journal et nous avons lu un article. So we opened the newspaper and we read an article. And remember, in the new form, we can use the imperative, but it's more of a suggestion than a command. So, ouvrons le journal means let's open the newspaper. So for this imperative, you just conjugate in the tu, vous, or nous forms, and you leave the subjects off. Okay? Pourquoi est-ce que vous n'ouvrez pas ce colis? Why aren't you opening this package? Pourquoi est-ce que vous n'avez pas ouvert ce colis? Why didn't you open this package? Ouvrez ce colis. Open this package. All right? Here's your last example for ouvrir in 3 tenses. Well, no, this one's just in 2 tenses. Ils ouvrent les fenêtres pour faire rentrer de l'air frais. Right? So that's the present tense. They're opening the windows to let in some fresh air. Ils ont ouvert les fenêtres pour faire rentrer de l'air frais. And that's just in the past. And guys, I gotta tell you, today, c'est la canicule en France. We're having a heat wave, which is one of the reasons why I am not showing myself in this video. I have had to close all of the curtains and the windows to keep the heat out. That's what you do when you don't have air conditioning. We've learned this since we've lived here. And oh my God, my hair is a mess and I don't have on any makeup. So no, you're not seeing me today. All right, la canicule, that's the heat wave. All right, let me show you some more of these. Now, the next one is the verb offrir. Remember how many different meanings this has. So if you have your study guide or just a notebook out or something like that, I really want you to take note of these. You know the present tense, right? We've been over that. You know the passé composé uses avoir and ends in ERT, so it's pronounced j'ai offert, and so on and so forth. And then in the imperatif, we have offre-lui un verre. Offre-lui un verre. So the imperative form is just offre, right? But I decided to give you a little example. That means buy him a drink. I wanted you to remember this because it's very often something we want to do. You want to buy someone a drink. Offre-lui un verre in the tu form. Offrons-lui un verre. That would be let's buy him a drink or let's buy her a drink. The lui can be him or her. And offrez-lui un verre. Buy him or buy her a drink in the vous form. Okay, some more examples for you. Present tense. J'offre une jolie paire de chaussures à ma fille. So remember that means I'm giving, like as a present, a nice pair of shoes to my daughter. Passé composé, j'ai offert une jolie paire de chaussures à ma fille. And in the tu form, qu'est-ce que tu offres de faire pour aider? Remember, this is the one you're offering to do something, so you need a de before the infinitive. Passé composé, qu'est-ce que tu as offert de faire pour aider? That sounds like a lot of faire in there, right? Qu'est-ce que tu as offert de faire? They sound the same, but they're different words. And in the context, people will know what you're saying. Now, you want to say, offer to help. Go ahead, offer. Offre d'aider. Here again, we have offering to do something. So, aider is my infinitive, has to be preceded by de. D'accord? And il m'offre 2000 € pour ma voiture. Ou alors, il m'a offert 2000 € pour ma voiture. All right, here's some more with offrir. Nous lui offrons un beau bouquet de fleurs. Nous lui avons offert un beau bouquet de fleurs. And this is the suggestion. Let's give him or let's give her a beautiful bouquet of flowers. Offrons-lui un beau bouquet de fleurs. D'accord? You see how I'm just attaching that little pronoun? I'm putting a hyphen and I'm sticking the pronoun on. In the imperative, your pronouns come after the verb. If it's an affirmative command, but that's for another lesson. I just wanted to tell you that in case you were wondering. Okay? Vous leur offrez un verre? Are you buying them a drink? Vous leur avez offert un verre? Did you buy them a drink? Offrez-lui un beau bouquet de fleurs. Oh man, that's not supposed to be written there, is it? It's supposed to say, look, I made a mistake, but what's it supposed to say? How would you do it? Help me fix this. You want to say, buy them a drink. Okay, if you can write it down in the comments, yay. It should be offrez leur un verre. Buy them a drink. Offrez leur un verre. D'accord? Okay, elles offrent de garder le chien du voisin. So again, they're offering to do something. Garder is my infinitive, put de before it. And in the passé composé, elles ont offert de garder le chien du voisin. D'accord? Souffrir. We have our present tense. We have our passé composé. You're used to that now. The past participle is pronounced souffert, uses avoir as helping verb. And in the imperative, you just got to think, when am I ever going to look at someone and say, you suffer? Probably never, except there is this French expression, and, I guess we have it in English too, when someone's just complaining too much, which can happen, you can tell them to suffer in silence. Souffre en silence. I don't want to hear you anymore. Allez, souffre en silence. Or if we want to make it a suggestion, let's suffer in silence. Souffrons en silence or souffrez en silence. This is a very nice French expression. I don't want you to forget it. Go over that one with a highlighter. Okay. Remember, if you are suffering from a heart condition, je souffre d'un problème cardiaque. Right? Or in the passé composé, j'ai souffert d'un problème cardiaque. There's no imperative, right? Tu souffres depuis ton divorce. Have you been suffering since your divorce? Tu as souffert après ton divorce. Now this one's in the passé composé, so I can't use depuis anymore. Remember, depuis indicates something's still going on. But if I'm putting it in the passé composé, it's finito, right? It's finished. So, tu as souffert après ton divorce means, did you suffer after your divorce? I did not put this one in the imperative because it sounded so stupid. Suffer after your divorce. But if I had, you would have known to spell it S-O-U-F-F-R-E, right? In case you're ever inclined to tell someone to suffer. Elle souffre de dépression. Right? She suffers from depression. That's the one. We're not going to say de la dépression. Right? Elle a souffert de dépression. Elle a souffert de dépression. Très bien. Okay? Now, in the new form, nous souffrons en silence. Nous avons souffert en silence. Souffrons en silence. D'accord? You know that one. Vous souffrez? Are you in pain? Vous avez souffert? Were you in pain? Did it hurt? Right? Ils souffrent inutilement. They're suffering needlessly. Ils ont souffert inutilement. They suffered needlessly. D'accord? Okay. Now, here we are to the verb couvrir. You know, present, je couvre, passé composé, j'ai couvert. and the imperative, still leaving the E off of the to form, because that's a rule with verbs, with ER verbs or with verbs that act like ER verbs, like these. Couvre la piscine. Couvrons la piscine. Let's cover the pool. Couvrez la piscine. Cover the pool, right? And here are your examples. Je couvre les plantes pour les protéger. J'ai couvert les plantes pour les protéger. And you recognize these examples, right? Pourquoi est-ce que tu ne couvres pas ta piscine? Pourquoi est-ce que tu n'as pas couvert ta piscine? Why didn't you cover your pool? Couvre ta piscine. Cover your pool. Elle couvre son carnet avec du tissu. So remember, that means she's covering her notebook with fabric. I could have said, elle couvre son carnet de, D-E, tissu. Remember, that's a thing. You can say avec du tissu, or leave out the avec and say de, de tissu. Make sure you make a note of that, okay? Passé composé, elle a couvert son carnet de tissu, ou elle a couvert son carnet avec du tissu. D'accord? Voilà. Nous couvrons les murs de peinture bleue. Nous avons couvert les murs de peinture bleue. Couvrons les murs de peinture bleue. So that's a suggestion. Remember, let's paint the walls with blue paint. We wouldn't really say let's cover the walls with blue paint in English, but in French you would, okay? That's one of the ways you can do it, okay? Vous couvrez les enfants avec des vêtements chauds. Vous avez couvert les enfants avec des vêtements chauds. Couvrez les enfants avec des vêtements chauds. Remember, I could have said, vous couvrez les enfants de vêtements chauds. All right? And now finally, this casserole. What is a casserole? La casserole is a pot that you cook in. Il couvre la casserole pour faire cuire le riz. Ils ont couvert la casserole pour faire cuire le riz. And so if you're saying, what is the faire cuire? What's that? What's that faire doing there? You need to watch my lesson on the faire causative and you'll understand everything. All right, we have one more. We need to look at découvrir and then we're going to be finished. Let me tell you something. It's starting to get hot in here. It's supposed to be, I think, 43 degrees Celsius today. I think that's like 108 or 109 Fahrenheit. Ooh la la, fait chaud. All right, so present tense. Je découvre, you know this. Passé composé, j'ai découvert. Impératif, leave the S off in the to form. Découvre la ville, discover the city. Découvrons la ville, let's discover the city. Découvrez la ville, discover the city. There I'm talking to a group of students and I want them to go out and explore and discover. So I have to use the vous form, right? Allez, examples. Je découvre la musique classique. J'ai découvert la musique classique. Now, I want you guys to remember, really, really remember, because even though I'm showing it to you in this lesson, it's a hard thing if you don't get a lot of practice in. These past participles end in ERT, okay? The to form. Tu découvres Paris avec tes camarades? Tu découvres Paris avec tes camarades? Camarade, it's just buddies, you know. First I had written ami, and I was like, oh no, let's throw in another word. Camarade, copain, ami, all of those sort of mean the same thing. Donc, découvre Paris avec tes camarades. Discover, it's like go discover Paris with your friends. On découvre le monde en voyageant. On découvre le monde en voyageant. On a découvert le monde en voyageant. So the en voyageant will remind you of my lesson on gerunds, le gérondif. So this is a gerund in action. Just a few more examples and we're all done. The nous form. Nous découvrons ensemble les quartiers de Québec. Nous avons découvert ensemble les quartiers de Québec. And now our suggestion, let's do something. Découvrons ensemble les quartiers de Québec. That means let's discover them together, right? Vous découvrez la vérité. Vous avez découvert la vérité. Découvrez la vérité. Find out the truth. Découvrez la vérité. And last but not least, elle découvre les spécialités du sud de la France. Or in the passé composé, elles ont découvert les spécialités du sud de la France. Voilà. So that is your lesson on these 5 irregular IR verbs in French. Okay, so don't forget, you need to practice if you want to master these. So you can sign up by looking for the links in the video description below. You can sign up for my mini course and find out how to print out your study guide. Allez, merci beaucoup et à la prochaine. Ciao!